I'm actually going to do a video on how to make a bed. This is a training video. Perhaps you're interested in getting into healthcare. If you're interested in becoming a healthcare worker, this is how you make a bed. So, let's hope this is, yes, it is in view. Lovely. So I had already laid the bottom sheet on. So I'm just going to pretend that I'm laying it again. There we go. Let's see if it's in. Yes, it is in view. Just blocking the view just a little bit. Alright. Make it lie down. Just taking the opportunity while I'm in this setting because there's no point not using these opportunities. Okay, bear with it. Might not be in view, but I will show you the result at the end anyway. So, tuck the top in. And if you want to do the envelope corners, you just lift it side and then you form the triangle, tuck it in. You tuck in the bottom at the same way, the bottom end the same way. I prefer the hospital envelope corners, but some people don't mind anyway, as long as the bed is made. But this is how I was trained. Even then, they were somewhat indifferent. Somewhat, it depended on who was training you in the placement. So if you go to a different hospital, but that was from nursing school. And granted, if you are a healthcare assistant, you will work with different nurses. People have been trained in different places and have different experiences. So if you end up working with someone who was a matron in a different country, just be open-minded because it can cost you a job. Attitudes in that. People are people, human resources in that. Okay, so now we've done the second bed sheet. It's somewhat tucked itself. Let's reach a little bit. And then you tuck up the bottom. At this stage, I will just put the blanket on top and then I will tuck up we'll put on this is a simple way of doing it. Something that I learned because sometimes the blankets are quite big. So this one is already folded. Let's put this one as it is. It's quite nice when you see the blanket in this shape sometimes. And it's winter. So these are just some of the hacks that you have to try and do for your patients so that they're nice and warm. Alright, let's put the top one anyway. Or you can put that on the top, whichever way you want. Just do a quick tap there. Alright, then we've got this top one here. Or you can ignore it because some people are already used to UK winters, so they won't really want that. So my top half is okay. You can be particular and make sure the sides are even. Mine just happened to have fallen into place the right way. Tucking the bottom, and now I'm going to pick my envelope corners. And now I've got my triangle on the side. Tuck in the other side. Lift triangle. I've got my envelope corner done. Tuck it in. And then before I tuck the rest of it, I'm going to fold over. Good thing I just got lucky, it just went even. Sometimes you might have to spread your blanket a few times before it happens. It works out for you. Okay, so that's nice and tidy. And then on this side, now, neatly done bed and your pillows. Lay them on the bed. There you go. Let's now show you what the bed appears like. There you go. neatly done bed. Okay, so this is just one of the things that you could do. You could learn to do. Practice, 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 and don't give up. Sometimes it can be tricky when we work together as humans. Someone likes their bed done a certain way, or someone's been doing them a certain way for a very long time. So bear with each other. But if you're learning and stuff, just make sure you do your bed. This is the simplest way. It is quite old-fashioned too. Some people don't even do envelopes at all. They just do a tap, tap, tap. Quick, quick, quick. Now, this is a different sort of bed, but in hospital you might have beds that have rules on them. Make sure your brakes are on. Safety, safety, safety. But this is just a brief video to just encourage you. If you're getting into healthcare, simple way of making the bed. Now, you need to take note that sometimes you need to do the beds quite often. Don't shake the things too much. You need to strip the beds, get rid of the bedding to avoid cross-infection, to avoid hospital-acquired infections and all that. So I'm not going to get into the whole nitty-gritty, but obviously it's a health and safety thing to make the beds in hospital. Okay, so that's about it. Au revoir.